open like a sisterhood.
Yes, it's that time once again when we give you the best of the woman, the best of the lady. Not just the ordinary lady, the extraordinary woman on the program.
Lady Life.
Yes, so and today is no other exception.
Today's guest is my favorite. I've not met her, but she's my favorite. She's my favorite. She's an extraordinary woman doing extraordinary things for all of us.
You know what he's talking about?
All of us.
Our guest is a chef. She bakes cakes. So when I don't hear that one, ding dong.
She feeds us. She does for all of us.
Well, why we actually brought her here today is the story behind this woman, how ups and downs, despite all the ups and downs she has, she also came out and she's actually the best at what she does. Hey, has there ever been any time in life for you that you've done something, you've tried to do something, it don't work, then you just give up?
Yeah.
Plenty time?
Yeah. That I overcame. That's what I meant. Yeah. We'll come for a short break. The guest is not my best friend. I've known, but she's already my best friend.
We'll come for our usual short break, and when we come back, we meet a wonderful cake baker. Not just because of what she does with her hands, but what she has up there in her mind and the kind of heart she has towards what she does. The short break. You're welcome back from that break, and you know this is a season of love, it's a season of giving. So as usual on Lady Life, we give you what the season calls for, and it's Christmas. So we have a wonderful guest in the house today. Came with a very lovely Christmas cake for us. Well, that be the cake and it looks shao. She has her wonderful story to tell. With us in the studio today is Mrs. Ine Thelma Ako. She is the creative director, Rainbow Touch Cakes. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome to our studio. You look like a rainbow.
Wow.
Your cake is amazing.
Thank you.
But there's no knife.
Yeah.
We need come here to eat, please.
But the cake is here.
This is props.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyhow, you're welcome, ma.
Thank you.
Let's start with, because what I'm seeing here is amazing. When, why, and how did you go into baking?
Well, I really didn't have a plan up front, you know, baking and doing all what I'm doing now. But, you know, one thing led to another, and I found myself making cakes today. And we have a cake shop, we have a bakery, and it's business today. It's actually the love and the joy that I found making a piece of cake that, you know, that has blossomed into what we have that is a household name, you know, in the cake industry, Rainbow Touch Cakes today. Honestly, I started off as a broadcaster way back in Port Harcourt.
Really?
Yes, I read mass communication, and I was working there as an on-air personality. I worked for about 13 years, and at a point in time, my family and I, you know, there was a need for us to relocate to Abuja, and I tried to, you know, make some move to get
Back into the broadcasting industry.
yes, you know, coming back. I made the move to do some transfer of service from the from the states civil service to the federal civil service. But, you know, for some reason, I don't really understand why things didn't really click. But, you know, in the course of those times, I saw myself doing nothing, and that has never been my pattern, to just stay idle and just keep looking. And no, I began to feel the nudge to just find something to do. And in those early days when I came to Abuja, I'm a very prayerful person, and most of the times in my quiet times, I pray, and then one of those days, looking at the scripture, and the Lord said, "What is in your hand that I can bless?" I saw that scripture that says, "Whatsoever your hands find to do, He's going to bless it."
Yeah.
After that encounter, sometimes when I just go back to prayer, it's like, what is in your hand that I can bless? I kept on hearing that. It's like, don't even bother praying so much. Look for something and put in your hand. And it kept on resonating, in that season. And I knew that God was speaking to me to find something skillful in my hand. And it was very, very loud. Like, whatever it is that you find, I'm going to bless it. And so, somehow again, coincidentally in that season, in my church, I went to church one of those days, and on the update, they were like, an empowerment program is coming up. And so, somehow again, coincidentally in that season, in my church, I went to church one of those days, and on the update, they were like, an empowerment program is coming up. They're going to be teaching a whole lot of skills. I'm like, wow, I have to be there to find something that, I can show to the Lord. That's how I joined the empowerment program. I enrolled for about 5 different classes because I was that desperate to get something. And I told myself at the end of the program, surely I must find something that I like doing. And so at the end of the program, we were like, okay, they were like, you should be able to present something at the end of the program.
Yes.
And they gave us papers to pick, and I picked in the catering class, and I picked a paper that said, bake a 6-inch cake and decorate it for the graduation ceremony where we're presenting everything. Well, I thought that making a cake was just like, just like...
Tip of the fingers.
Yeah. I just felt so confident, So with that confidence, I went to the market, bought so many things to
garnish
the 6-inch cake.
So cake like this. So much money, I really wanted to give it the go, but I was going to have it. I baked the cake, and then by the time I just moved in and out trying to get the cake cool, the cake was just going down. Going down. It was just falling. And so, there's a level where the cake will reach, and you're supposed to be able to dress it, but I saw that the cake fell apart. And the next day, I couldn't really decorate that cake and take it for presentation. And for me, that really, really hurts me. I felt beaten, I was really angry with myself because I know how I went to that empowerment program. I went with the energy, with the zeal to get back something to show, you understand? And not at the end of the day, I will not be able to present. I judiciously went to that class. So, at the end of the day, I couldn't present. So when the whole thing was going on, I was not, it was so many. So nobody really noticed that, yes, I didn't bring my work. But I later on went to the big chef and told him, sir, this is what happened to me. I actually was not able to. And he said, okay, at the end of the class, I went again to meet him, that I want to know how to make this cake. So he referred me to one of the other facilitators and said, go there, she teaches, and that's how I began the journey. And I went to her school, she taught me what she knew, and it was a good start. At the end of what she did, she said we should do an assignment, and at the end of the day, I saw that I could do the cake. That really gave me a lot of joy. I began to just, get drawn to cakes and cake magazines, cake shows, anything cake. I just wanted to know, just wanted to understand how did they do the next. So I was looking for where to go learn more, learn here. And my ears were just down for everything cake. I just run, go look, I pay here. And then I got connected to the International Cake Explorer Societies. The day they came for inauguration in Abuja, I was there, and then I signed up immediately because they told us that sign up gives you a platform where you go to America for conventions. That platform allows you to connect with other veterans in the cake industry, where classes are done for people where you learn. And by the way, I just knew I was in a journey of learning how to perfect the cake. So I signed up, and then that was how I began traveling to America, going for conventions and all that.
Cake convention?
Yes. The International Cake Explorer Societies, it's a gathering of all the cake makers around the globe.
Wow.
Yes, the good bakers, and then there are classes through the entire period. You're expected to just, sign up for the different classes that you are interested in, and then in all through there are facilitators that take you, and this is what goes on all through, it's annual conventions, and then you have the local conventions within America, and then now spread to Africa and then to Nigeria. Even in Abuja, we also have the ISIS where conventions are also there. So that's how the journey for all these trainings began. And then further into the trainings, I had to connect with the cake boss and
that's Italian.
Bude Volastro. I went to the New York Cake Academy. Apart from all that baking and learning online, it's been a process of learning, and then as we're learning, we're implementing, and by the grace of God, the craft has gone from glory to glory.
Well, how did you start getting your customers?
My customers now in the course
when you started?
Yeah, when in course of learning. Now, if you don't put to practice what you learn, then how are you sure that you know? So I keep practicing, and I dash you the next birthday cake.
Have you finished practice?
Still. This cake and see. Yes, it's very easy for me to, you understand, because you need to put to practice, and then I'm not going to eat all the cake. Exactly. So I'm looking for the next family or friend that is celebrating. I'm going to give you a cake. I'm practicing.
Okay.
So it's been 8 years of practicing. By the grace of God, we are now teaching. We have, a lot of people we have taught, and we are doing, exceptionally very well.
Yes.
Which is, to the glory of God, one of the things that we're grateful to God. We've been able to impart other people in this whole journey.
Has there been challenges?
Obviously.
What have been your challenges?
The staying power.
That is
the staying power in every business, not just my business. The staying power. You need to be resilient, because really challenges, just even the time to stay, to create, you give it time. Your creative mind must be engaged, and then you begin to coming out with those beautiful crafted cakes. It takes time. You understand? You think about staff that will also join you, partners, that join you to make the world of beauty come alive. You can't do that all alone. Sometimes manpower is a challenge, and sometimes, especially when you travel out and you see how things are done, you just want to express yourself, and you need money to be able to bring that to finance and all that. Those are some challenges. We're building up. We're not exactly where we are, but so far we are grateful people. God has been faithful.
I also want to know, have you had challenges with a customer? Maybe a customer wasn't satisfied, or a cake was destroyed in the process of delivery?
Yeah, definitely.
How did you handle it?
Definitely. It's not all perfect, because we're humans.
That's true.
Sometimes you calculate it with all the figures in your head, but things happen. Sometimes in the process of delivering, the roads are not good. I've had issues like that. The roads are not good, and you have done so much work, put in so much time, set it up, standing straight, and then on the road there's a bump, and then everything falls. It has happened to me. It has happened to me. It has happened. Do you understand? And you will cry. Definitely, your customer tastes. You need to work with them over a period of time to be able to understand exactly what they want, because some of them don't even know what they want. Some of them don't even know the cake. Now, let me tell you something. I remember, I personally, I really love the moist cakes. The moist cakes. I love the moist cakes. And I have learnt a lot of the moist cakes. They are the good cakes. Now there's some people who don't even know that there's a moist cake. So now, and there's a way you bake some of those cakes. We steam some of them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you have water,
yes, like
you're baking. Still, there's still a little water in there. So when the heat is coming, it's not coming with all that fierce hotness. It's coming with some moisture that is dropping on the cake. That gives it some extra moisture.
Wow.
Do you understand? That keeps your cake moist all the time. No matter where you keep it, it's going to be moist. That is one secret I'm letting out here. Do you understand? We do it for some kinds of cakes, and those are very moist cakes. And we made a cake for one client, and the next day, the guy, he made it for his girlfriend, and then he now came to the bakery the next day with the lady to say this cake is not good.
What?
I'm like, what is the problem? You understand? Now, when you're into a thing, you think that everybody knows what you know.
Yeah.
And you're just doing with all your heart, excellently well. And they're receiving it in another form. You understand? And it's so you make a beautiful, very moist cake. So, like we did for one customer, the cake is not good. And what is the problem? So the cake is too soft. I'm like, wow. And I was telling her this moisture is just because of the style and the way we bake. And we cut the cake. I was asking them, where's the thing that is... Finally, after explaining and telling them, they started apologizing to me.
That's wonderful, ma. On the final note, I want you to give a word of advice. So how do you secure your customer? How do I keep coming back for more?
You must imbibe the spirit of excellence. You must do it with all your heart.
That is it.
Do it like you're doing it unto the Lord, not even men. That's how you do your work, and then He will pay you.
Yes.
That's how I do my work.
I like that.
Do you understand? Do it as if you're doing it unto the Lord, because this is service to the God who has given you the creative ability. And so He pours the glory on top of what you do. They see it, and they come back. And we don't stop until the job is done. We stay overnight and we're working all through. So you see, the way we work sometimes, in fact, I'm trying to slow down this time around. When I started, we walk, we don't even remember if we have eaten. And someone like, have I even eaten today?
But that's different. We are trying to build a foundation for what you are today.
You walk and you forget food. And sometimes the way my office is, it's just almost like, it's like you're in a box. You don't even know
if it's daytime or
what is happening outside. You understand? And so when you open this night, we have been here. Night is here.
you ain't even fair.
You don't stop until the job is done. Because you have a name. You have a name. You want to uphold that name. You don't want to mess it up because you want to be economical. You want to manage something that is bad. You put it in there and send it out there. The customer gets it and the feedback goes out. And they just keep rolling and goes and goes. And the message goes around. You don't know what you're doing. But when you make a mistake, you find that mistake, you correct it, remove it, trash it. A lot of times we have trashed, stuff that is money because we have made some mistake. Those are some of the prices that you have to pay. So that at the end of the day, your goods are getting to the customers in the best of conditions, and the most excellent, to the best of our ability. God sees our heart. We do the best that we know. And when you make a mistake, even if it means, trashing it, wasting, because you have a name. You have a name. You want to uphold that name. You don't want to mess it up because you want to be economical. You want to manage something that is bad. You put it in there and send it out there. The customer gets it and the feedback goes out. And they just keep rolling and goes and goes. And the message goes around. You don't know what you're doing. But when you make a mistake, you find that mistake, you correct it, remove it, trash it. A lot of times we have trashed, stuff that is money because we have made some mistake. Those are some of the prices that you have to pay. So that at the end of the day, your goods are getting to the customers in the best of conditions, and the most excellent, to the best of our ability. God sees our heart. We do the best that we know. And the rest of them is His grace that makes the crowning and the beauty, that people see at the end of the day. Another thing I have to say now, you must discover passion before you begin to pursue whatever you want to do, because passion, I figure that passion is fuel.
It drives you.
Fuel. For goodness sake, if you have passion, nobody needs to wake you up and nobody needs to tell you to stay overnight. You by yourself, you know that if this work not finish, it's really rewarding at the end. When you sit back and sometimes when the cake is going out, we're like, wait, I will do this thing is going, let's take some pictures. It's out of our sight. It's joy, rewarding at the end of the day. When you see that my hands created this beauty, and all is to the glory of God.
I want to thank you so much once more for this wonderful outing. You didn't just come to tell us about cake baking. You get to give us an inspiration. You use yourself as like a focal point to many people out there. You're actually like a resource person right now giving it out. So anybody that is watching and has that same drive will know that there's no room for discouragement.
Do not allow the failure of one event make you to quit in this cake making or whatever is your vocation.
Madam, I'm so I want to thank you once more and I wish you all the best. So, I just wish I could. I don't want to let her go, but we just have to call it give some ticket for a usual short break, and when we come back, maybe that's when we'll be do some slicing of cake. So go nowhere, we'll be right back. Yes, I know what you're seeing right now is a memorable Christmas. So this is preamble to Christmas. We want to put you in the Christmas mood. You understand? I've already told that he behind the camera and had not to touch this cake. Well, that was a wonderful personality.
She's my best. I told people that she was going to be my best friend. She's my best.
Well, I know why she's your boyfriend. Your own food matter. Because I'm talking about passion. Anybody that watched her interview, if you don't learn anything from it,
she's my new motivation.
Like you talk about it, just pack your
and go. Because you have missed it. You might not be eating this cake, but you have missed the whole conversation, the whole point. Let's break it down. She was a state worker.
Civil servant like us.
She would have given up. When
you understand?
Abuja should have said, let me look for another.
Even when
let me go and be a teacher. Let me just go.
Even when the first cake she made collapsed.
I would have given up.
Thank you.
No, so confident.
She was
my relationship.
She's something. It's someone like this that I will have to go and look for what I really want to do. Aside from what I'm doing, I enjoy.
You're passionate about what you do.
No, I am.
And we've already established that you're also passionate about children.
Yes, I am. I want to add food passion to eat. Anything wrong with that?
Yes, it's taking.
Well, I hope you guys had fun with today's edition because we did. The fun is even after party, you know. So please tune in same time, same station next week for another bumper package because it's Christmas period.
Yep.
On the program, Lady Live.
Do it like it's my birthday. Hey, do it like it's my birthday.